Hello friends, my name is Olga and this is my Ukrainian vlog. Today I want to make short video about that why people still may leave, for example, Kyiv city or other regions, as we have news that Ukrainian army quite successful on some directions, and actually they fight back and return some territories near Kyiv, for example, or other territories. Why people still scared, and they say that civilian people cannot be, for example, in Kyiv. It is scary for them. First of all, not all houses are near proper, this underground shelter. It could be just underground shelters, underground floors, but they are not actually for resistant against bombardments, and they like kind of dangerous. Some people actually do not have any shelters, as they just stay in their houses, for example 8th floor, 9th floor. And when you receive this air siren, that the missiles on the way to Kyiv city, and you don't know if this air special, this other missiles that hit that missiles and destroy them, like for defense, if they will stop and actually destroy all missiles of enemy. And some of them actually could fly and reach their goals. And when you hear this warning, it means that you have 10 or 5 minutes when this missile will reach its goal. And if you understand that it's on the way to Kiev, you don't know which house it will hit, which place it will fall, and maybe it will be your house, exactly your flat, or you'll be just on the way to store, and it will strike somewhere close to you, and you will be killed, or you will be killed in your flat, as I told you, or you will hear some explosions a little bit far from you, and you will receive later message that someone already died because of the missile. So it's like some game. Survive, will you survive this night or not? And it is scary. It is when you have this situation all the time, it makes nervous, it makes you stressful. And first time when I moved out from Kyiv region, from even to Western Ukraine, when I heard some at night, some car passing by or some train, and I always first thought was that it is missile. And I was just a little bit shaken and stressed all the time I heard that sound, even now. And so it is really stressful. And that now I can analyze what kind of stress I felt, because when you in Kyiv, it is scary, but you cannot analyze yourself actually because of the stress, because you have to spend a lot of time to search food, to do some tasks, to actually even underground station, railway, they do not work properly. You may spend 2 hours waiting for train, underground station. So you waste a lot of time for such a common thing that was before very fast and without any problems, and you stressed all the time, and you cannot think and you analyze yourself. But when you moved out, and you understand that even simple car passing by at night, or train, or some sounds very common that was before without any problem, now you like all the time stressed because of them, because your some memory inside your unconscious, some depths of your brains remember that it could be some missile, that it could be danger for your life, and you all the time shaking all the time because of that sound, because of the cars, And why it is dangerous now? Why dangerous in Kyiv, for example, or near Kyiv, when we hear that our army actually wins on quite, a lot of directions. First of all, because Russians, they know that they should step back, and they send diversants. It is people who are wearing, civilian clothes, but they are with guns, and they are actually soldiers, and they task to kill, to make some, very disgusting murders, to scare people, to make explosions, to actually to do like, real assassins, real, cruel people who try to, to destroy and everyone, to, for example, wound everyone, to make as many sorrow as possible, to make as many evil as possible, and they should do it in tricky way. And it is dangerous when you will, on the way you will meet such a people. So that's why we have some hours we cannot leave our flats. We can leave our flats, for example, since 7 o'clock a.m. till 8 o'clock p.m. and rest of night and evening and, early morning we should stay at home. But anyway, people sometime may meet these diversants, and especially near Kyiv, in Kyiv region, because Kyiv is quite, there is huge people who are huge quantity of soldiers, and it's very good it is really very good have very good defense. And so but in Kyiv region people not that protected. And so I heard 2 days ago that near Kyiv, it is 15 kilometers from Kyiv, that small town was not occupied but by Russians. There was no any fights. It was like a peaceful, island of peace near Kyiv. But anyway, 2 days ago, I heard that the group of Russian diversants, they started to shoot there. They wounded 3 people, and 4th it was a child. And also they destroyed the railway, this, how to say, metal thing that are way for trains. So they destroyed it by some explosions. And escaped. So that was their task, to make some, to make people around in that small town be scared, and they did their task. It's not numerous group, and they escaped. So people afraid of them, and now our army tried to find them and destroy. So in Kyiv, even now, when our near Kyiv, they actually win. Inside the Kyiv, they search for such a diversant, for such a people who hide in somewhere, for example, underground, in some, buildings, in old buildings, and they shooting, and people may hear this shooting, guns, and it is very, very scary. And as I told you, a lot of people, they do not have possibility to sit in underground shelters. So they stayed in the flats, and they are like, like a targets for missile, for these bullets from that shooting our army, and that diversants from Russian army. And it is very scary when it happened near you, and all the time when you have some factory, very important, or other object, and you hear all the time the shooting there. It is scary, and nervous system of people cannot resist long time, and they said, oh no, I'm just done, I cannot I cannot be here, I just have to leave. And they just take some couple important things, and because they stressed, they cannot think properly, and sometimes they take not all or not that they need, and just escape because they just sat there, and then they just cannot sit there anymore. Another danger, why it is dangerous near Kyiv, in Kyiv region and other regions where was fights, then that Russians, they may left some bombs, and they could be with some special things. And when you, for example, walking somewhere near the bomb, it is hiding somewhere, especially in forests, in parks near Kyiv, or for example, we have parks in the city in Kyiv, and each bomb could explode. It could be left, for example, year ago, week ago, months ago, and they put these bombs, I don't know how it properly sorry, in English, but in our language we call it mine or mines. I don't know if it's correct name for these things, but they explode, they are hiding, and they explode when you're near them, and they kill people, they kill animal when it in the forest, and that's why it is dangerous. And they may kill people many years after this war, after some military and fight and that actions. So I got information that forest in Holosiev forest, it is in Kyiv, and it is like a mixed forest and park. It is have these bombs already that Russians left them. And actually I know that such a things army that step back doing very often. I know that a lot of such bombs was in forest near Luhansk, Donetsk Oblast, since 2014, and now they doing it the same. So now it will be very dangerous to walk in forests near Kyiv, even after victory, to walk somewhere in parks, maybe not, maybe you should just use there some main roads, but do not step on on the ground somewhere out of that roads in the parks. It is dangerous, as I told you, for animals, for wild animals, for people who connected with forests. For example, people who walk and look out for animals in forests, for scientists, for example, that connected with zoology, biology, for people who like to pick in mushrooms at autumn, and other people who like just to be in forests. And unfortunately, it is also, we received such an information that there is a danger for people to be in forest near Kyiv, and I think in most of regions that where was that fights or near them. So we have now three types of danger why people even now leave Kyiv region, for example. This is danger and stress, because you can be killed by missile. You hear all the time how they flying. You receive all the time their siren, these alarms that they on the way, and all the time you understand that you could be killed. This siren could be 10 times per day, 5 days per day, and so it means that 10 times or 5 times you're waiting for your death, actually. A lot of people, they do not hiding in underground shelters anymore, because some of them just sick of this running 10 times per day, up and down, up and down. It is impossible to do something, and they just say, okay, I will not pay attention for this. But doesn't mean that they do not afraid. Of course, you feel like you are a target, and you don't know will you be killed by that missile now or not. It is stressful, really. And other thing that this is shooting, these diversants that may run everywhere, and they just may throw some small bomb, or just may shoot from the gun and kill someone, because they tasked to make people be scared. It is really very scary, and they shootings, they make such tricky murders for make people scared. So it is second reason why people scared, why they're afraid of any cars passing by. They don't know who in that cars. They're afraid actually of other people, of groups of especially young men who could be soldiers. And the third type, why people stressed, because they cannot even walk in the forest, because actually in the forest could be part of that diversions of that army. And if not, there could be that bombs. You may step on the bomb and you will be a few days later without leg or even dead. So even if our army wins, for civilian people, Kyiv region and other regions of Ukraine,